Hey, Shalom, Shalom on the staff. Source by giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Kakudash. Double honors the apostles of GMS and honors to brothers doing the work in truth and sincerity. This one is inspired from basically I thought that I was meditating, and I was basically thinking about how over here in the UK, basically a lot of establishments take card payments, contactless payments as a part of that. But then you'll go to say certain restaurants, right? Turkish restaurants, is what comes to mind for me. Certain places where they'll only accept cash, right? And people will be like, oh, dodgy dealings or whatever, or yeah, they're trying to avoid tax, right? And all of these things, all of these thinking has, that's being programmed into us, right? Into thinking, oh, just because someone doesn't, accept card payments, that they're, doing something that's not quite right. Right now, what about when they bring in the chip, right? Oh, what, you ain't got the chip? Maybe this guy ain't quite right. What's wrong with this guy, right? Just like I said, just like now in the UK, and brothers can attest to this, right? People in the world in England can attest to this. That sense of, well, I'll speak for London. Let me speak for London, right? Because London's a major city with a lot of the large majority of shops will take card payments. So when you come across one that doesn't, people will like, oh, okay, subconsciously they're thinking something dodgy's happening, right? So they're gonna try to push that on us, right? But look, we ain't supposed to take this chip, man. This mark of the beast, and that's just another one of Esau's programming, bit of programming, right? So this is Ephesians 6:11. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, right? For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, against but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, right? And part of that spiritual wickedness is to spread, certain things upon the world, right? Is to spread, deceit all over the world, right? The way Esau makes people believe, like I just did a video on abortion, right? The way Esau believes stuff like that the way Esau makes people believe stuff like that is cool, right? That is straight up witchcraft, right? So when people are being presented with the chip, they're being what do you call it? They're so let me I've completely lost track of thought. But basically, when Esau's doing all of this, yeah, okay. So when the chip is brought out and bros are like, nah, we ain't taking the chip, right? Esau's gonna use that witchcraft, to try demonize people, right? And those that ain't got the faith, right? They're gonna fall in line, right? They're gonna fall in line because of the demonization, right? It says, wherefore take and once again, we're privy to these things, man. Right, when Esau is doing his his witchcraft, right, we're supposed to be privy to these things and be like, oh, okay, I see what angle this man's going, is trying to come, right? It says, wherefore take you unto you the whole arm of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, right? And having done all to stand, right? So withstand. So what are we withstanding against? The time of Jacob's trouble, right? When Esau is gonna, force everyone to take that chip, right? This is Jeremiah 30 and 6. I'll start from 6 points and 7. It says, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with a child, right? So men don't give birth, right? It says, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail? So basically, why do I see every man in a position where, like, they're about to give birth, like they, when women are in travail, like, it uncontrollable, right? It says, and all faces are turned into paleness, right? It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, right? So it's just saying that the time to come is going to be like no other time. You read that also in Daniel, the 12th chapter, right? The fact that, the things that we're going to come into is going to be greater than, anything that has ever been on the face of the planet Earth, right? It says, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, Right, so that's the time of Jacob's trouble, man, when Esau's forcibly coming down and saying, look, man, take this chip, right? And he say, he shall be saved out of it. Yeah, the elect to go and overcome, the elect to go and have the whole arm of the Most High, which is these scriptures, man, right? They're going to have the word, right? Those going to send his angels to protect his men, right? Damn, scripture literally just escaped me. Right, it says, but he shall be saved out of it. So, hey, brothers, don't fret, man. The Lord has his men. Right? It says 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, we're not ignorant. When Esau was pushing out certain things, we're like, oh, okay, I see where you're coming from, devil. Right? But that's part of the blessing. That's why we've got to be grateful that we have this truth and we have the understanding. Right, because there are many that don't and will be taken by Esau's devices, right? It says, we're not ignorant of his devices. And of course, right, the points of Revelation 13:16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, right? So let's break that down, right? It says, and he calls it all. So literally everyone, he's going to force it upon everyone. That was a scripture that I wanted to get. It's Revelation 12 and 12. Right, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down to you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right, so we just call it, Esau's going to come down. He's going to use his blessing, which is the sword. No, and he's going to come down on the people, right, to try and implement his new world order. But hey, we know according to the scriptures, he ain't going to be able to accomplish it, right? And he's going to do this because he know his time's up, right? Sort of like, let's say you're dealing with a chick or whatever, right? And then you know that she's, she's going to be going at the end of the month, right? You're going to be whacking that ass, as hard as you can, as much as you can, because you know that day is coming. Now, that's what Esau's doing, right? Esau knows his kingdom's about to fall down, right? So he's going to start coming down because he's going to try to get as much done, right, in the time that he has, right? But he ain't going to be able to fulfill it, right? It says Job 20:5, right? It says that knowest, I'll start from 4. No, that's not what I want. 20 something maybe. Where is it? Right, 20 and 23, Salakia. Job 20:23 says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon Salakia, the washing machine. Alright, it says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his loins of Salakia. The Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right? It says, so basically Lord's gonna get him. When Esau's about to achieve his new world order, Lord's gonna get him. Right? Lord's gonna get him, and rightfully so. Right? Rightfully so. This man is the devil. Right? And every now and then the Lord will do something to remind you that this man is the devil. Right? He said, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Right? It's talking about these nukes, right? So these nukes are going to get Esau, man. And he knows this, right? So he's going to try to get as much done as possible. Right? But I'll carry on. Revelation 13:16 says, and he calls it all, both small and, so this literally everyone's going to force it upon all the people, right? Which is why you're seeing, for instance, even in Africa, so-called Africa, the land of Ham, right? One of the things they're working on is an ID card, right? And then you got this ID 2020 in America, right? If you're in the UK, right, and you're on a visa, right, then your visa is is on is biometrics, right? If you got the passport, I don't know if your passport's biometric, but I know the passport has the chip, right? So you got all of these different things, all of these different people, all of these different nations all around the world, all gearing up for that same thing, right? Because it's a new world order, right? It says both small and great. So your average Joe to your famous man, right? Rich and poor. Once again, your Bezos, your your gates or whatever, what have you, to us, the regular folk, right? The free, right? So it says people that are able to, walk around as they quote unquote please, right? And bond, right? It says that is those in the prison houses, right? It says to receive a mark in their right hand, right? And that word for mark there is charagma, right? It says a scratch or etching, a stamp as a badge of servitude, right? Or sculptured figure, a graven mark, a stamp and printed mark, right? So this is something that is within your within you, right? It says a badge of servitude, which is what ultimately it doesn't matter whether it's in your right hand or on your forehead. Right, for instance, when you read, the judgment for this, it doesn't actually specify in Revelation 14:9. It doesn't specify which hand, right? The fact that you're taking it as a badge of servitude. You're saying your Esau is my God, right? And what did the Lord say in Exodus? Thou shalt have no other gods before me, right? Says, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, right? So without this mark, you ain't gonna be able to buy anything. You ain't gonna be able to sell anything. Why? Because everything's gonna be on that chip, right? Ain't like now when you can, like we're saying, go back to the inspiration of this topic. Ain't like now when you can kind of choose to accept cash or accept card payments, right? In that day, everyone gonna have to have the chip, and there ain't gonna be no exceptions, right? It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? And this is the mark of the beast, right? This is the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, right? It's talking about Esau's power structure, right? So what's the mark? So that means this if it's the mark of the beast, it's going to have to be something that Esau, right, is going to it's going to enforce upon the people. Right? It can't be Christianity. No, the apostles were first called Christians at Antioch, right? That's talking about Israelites, right? So because when you look into it, Christianity was really, it was created by some wicked, so that in that particular instance, called Christians first at Antioch, right? That was the apostles, and that was in righteousness. But then you read into like what's this guy, Council of Nicaea? What's this guy? Constantine, right? That was just some wickedness that them people put up together, but that was Jake. So it ain't Christianity, right? But yeah, I can't. What else? White, so-called white women have been, here from however long, right? So it ain't them, right? So yeah, it says save that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? So yeah, as always, Lord's will, that was edifying. I think that was my last scripture, right? And as always, say shalom.